Mexico retains the Gold Cup title and the Club World Cup. We've hit the Final Four. Let's break down what just happened and what's about to go down.
Welcome back to Between the Posts, everybody. My name is Eric. I'm sharing the seat with my co-host today.
What's up?
What's going on? We got Enrique next to me. So we just saw Team USA versus Mexico. We also saw a couple of quarterfinal matches in the Club World Cup. Today we're going to focus on those. I think we're going to start with the Club World Cup. We got a couple of great matches. Now you picked in the group of 16. You picked Monterrey to beat Dortmund.
Yeah, I
So
did.
that didn't end up happening. So Dortmund go up 2-0. Monterrey grab one back. It looked like maybe they could level it up. Didn't end up happening. Dortmund advanced.
Yeah.
And then we saw a pretty exciting match between Real Madrid and Dortmund. What'd you think?
That match was it was up there, man. Like, I was very entertained about everything that was going on with that match. I mean, neck to neck, big giants coming there. That happened with that match, and even though I wanted to see Monterrey there, they almost pulled up the upset. But they did. The Liga MX, they did Mexico proud. Even though as an America fan, like I was rooting for them. But hey, they didn't put it up. But great effort. Real Madrid did their job. I mean, they have a pretty talented side. New players coming up that we'll probably talk about in a little bit. Dortmund, like I mentioned on the last episode, they're not quite there. I knew that they weren't gonna. Well, they put the brakes on Monterrey, but for Real Madrid is too big of a powerhouse to get over, and Dortmund finally hit the dead end at this tournament, and they are now packing their bags and we're going back to Germany.
Yeah, so really interesting last few minutes in that Real Madrid-Dortmund matchup. Real Madrid saw their lead shrink to just a goal, and then with just mere moments left in the match, they nearly saw their entire lead disappear and Dortmund draw level. Really great save there at the very end. It looked as if the ball, even after the initial touch from the goalkeeper, it looked like the ball might cross the touchline, but it doesn't move at all. Real Madrid really fortunate not for Dortmund not to draw level there. Ultimately, and I think they would have won in extra time or penalties. So I don't think the result is necessarily in question. I certainly think that they're happy that they got the job done in the 90 minutes and they don't have to go into extra time, spend more time, get more mileage on the legs. I think they're pretty excited about going into the semifinal a little more rested than perhaps they could have been. But rounding out the rest of the Gold Cup, we have a couple more quarterfinal matches to go through. I'll go ahead and get the easy ones out of the way. I have so much to say about PSG and Bayern. I'll get the easy ones out of the way. Fluminense beating Al Hilal 2-1.
What a great underdog story that we're seeing before us.
Even with Hilal, Al Hilal beating City was a really big upset as well. And then we see Fluminense seemingly an even greater underdog against Al Hilal.
Yeah, I mean,
go through.
Like this performance that Fluminense has been putting on is bringing up the debate that Brazil is a top 5 league, and they're so hidden between all the European giants that we're not giving credit where credit is due.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are putting in the work and they're beating these teams that we thought that they were that they should have been already knocked out already. And
I think they were fighting relegation last year.
Yeah, they were. I think they were, but I think they were. Fluminense was 6th because Botafogo was the champions. That's how they got qualified, and Fluminense was 6th. If it wasn't Fluminense, it was Palmeiras. But one of those teams, they were in 6th place. They weren't even like near it, but they qualified for
Club World Cup.
For it, yes. And now with the passion that they've been having, they've made it so far into the semifinals.
Thiago Silva has been a great story this tournament, I think.
The way how there was a clip on Twitter.
Yeah, the
where
emotion.
He's talking to his team, like that's the type of talk that I need.
I mean, that's what a captain does.
Yeah.
A captain makes it about more than just this being your job, and he makes it about more than win for the fans. He win for yourself. Have some pride in the club. I mean, that's really what a captain is meant for. Is to have everybody on the same track and one track mind. And I wanted to suit up for Fluminense after that. So
Put me in, coach.
Put me in.
Put me in.
Speaking of being put in, Chelsea 2-1 Palmeiras.
Cole Palmer, man. That boy, what's
That boy
his
cold.
semi? That boy cold.
It was cold in Philadelphia that day, I'll tell you what.
Mm-mm.
So Cole Palmer gets a goal. Chelsea go up 2-1. They beat Palmeiras. Now, I'll say this. It was 1-1 for a bit. I thought Palmeiras had an opportunity to take a lead, and it just ended up falling Chelsea's way first. So if we're going off these results here between Fluminense and Chelsea advancing and Palmeiras being left behind, I really feel you, at this point you have to say that the Brazilian league is a top 4. We're talking about top 5 leagues that we need to pay attention more for sure.
Oh yes.
We need to be evaluating.
Someone send a Fox crew down there. Like that's the only way
Fox.
how I'll watch.
I don't want to send Thierry Henry and those boys down.
CBS.
Send the CBS crew down there.
Oh,
Have them
yeah.
do some what is it? Some game day, some college football game day down
type
there.
Of thing. Oh
Yeah.
yes, I'd pay to see that, bro. Like,
I need
I'll
Lee
pay
Corso
that,
putting
I'll
on
pay
a
that
head.
subscription.
I need a Lee Corso headgear pick for the soccer matches. That would be electric. But man, I think out of the most disappointing game of the tournament for me is that Bayern Munich versus PSG. PSG ended up going down to 9 men before the end, and Dembele
Which is wild.
Dembele hits a strike to put them up 2-0 in like stoppage time. I mean, Bayern looked lethargic. They had no answers up front. It seemed like tactically they didn't really understand what to do against PSG. And by the end of it, they couldn't capitalize on being 2 men up. I mean, it doesn't get any more disappointing than that. We talk about Vincent Kompany and what he's accomplished at Bayern Munich and how he's won the Bundesliga at this point. And with the way that they lost the Bundesliga last year, you can't necessarily say, suit up and you'll win the Bundesliga. But genuinely, if you suit up, you generally win the Bundesliga. And we have a coach in which...
I don't. Well, okay.
I can't get into it too much.
Like,
I don't rate Vincent Kompany. I think he's a mistake here at Bayern Munich. PSG played well enough.
Yeah, PSG played well the whole entire tournament. Like, it's good, but the type of class that PSG has been putting the whole entire season, like, I wouldn't give them too much heat. For that. I mean, but don't get me wrong.
Bayern
PSG
had
was
won
down
like
2
7
men.
of their last 9 matchups. It's not like PSG took a good record against Bayern into this match. It's not as if they've had some really tough matchups in the last. No, it really hasn't been tough. This is a Bayern squad that has seen victory or at least a result in some fashion against PSG. Most of the last 10 matches they've played, it's disappointing in every sense of the word. Musiala gets not just injured, but I mean we probably won't see him until next summer. I mean, he's got a dislocated ankle on top of a broken fibula on top of just coming back from his previous injury. Where is he at mentally? Vincent Kompany comes out and says that he would have been here even if he wasn't mandated. He would be on the field. He wants to play, and I believe that. But ultimately, this match just cost Bayern so much in terms of my respect for the coach, my respect for some of the choices in the first 11 for this match, and Musiala goes down. It's just a really hard day at the office for Bayern.
I feel that, man. I feel you.
And it's we miss an opportunity, but at the same time, we got to talk about the teams that are here. I predicted Kylian Mbappe in our first episode when we talked about who's going to win Golden Ball or Golden Boot, who's going to have the most goals. I said it was going to be Kylian Mbappe for Real Madrid, and then I said maybe Real Madrid don't win in the tournament, but I think he'll score the most goals. There is a forward for Real Madrid
Yes.
who
Very
has the most goals in the
surprising.
tournament, and his name is not Kylian Mbappe.
No, or Jude Bellingham or whatever you want to
Yeah.
put. No, it's not. Gonzalo Garcia,
21 years old.
21 years old, more than likely going to be the Golden Boot winner of this tournament. 4 goals and 1 assist in 5 games for Los Blancos. And I mean, dude, like this guy is putting in the work for them.
Special shout out to Pedro Neto, still in the tournament.
Yes.
Could possibly steal this award, but right now I think it's pretty evident that Gonzalo Garcia has impressed beyond what we thought he would do, or thought any. If you were in on Gonzalo Garcia before this tournament, I'm sure you didn't even see this coming. So huge surprise there with the Golden Boot. I'm excited to see if he'll score again.
More than likely he will. But speaking of Real Madrid, as our little thing is messing up right here. All right, good. Real Madrid are going to be facing PSG for the semifinals of the Club World Cup. And on the other side, we got Fluminense going against Chelsea. Thiago Silva returns to battle out his former club. Is what is it, Boyhood? No, it's not Boyhood.
No, but
he's been there for the longest.
yeah, he played there.
Goes against Chelsea, and then Mbappe returns to face his club, PSG. So it's just a returning matches for these
Yeah,
two.
it's some homecomings for some of these players. Chelsea is in a really good run of form, just playing really tactical, sound, class football. Fluminense just playing their heart out, the passion on the pitch, evident. They just play with a really great energy, winning the ball back, even in the attack, just quick, incisive movements on the attack. Just really, really impressive. And then as for PSG versus Real Madrid, it's really up to who's going to be in a better form, who's going to have better tactics. Are we going to see a Xavi Alonso masterclass already against this seemingly...
they've been putting in the work already. They
against
made
this
it this
seemingly
far. Because
unbeatable PSG team.
Because keep in mind, Xabi Alonso took Leverkusen to a beautiful run, undefeated, correct?
Well, they lost to Atalanta in the final for, I think it was the Europa League or Conference
It was
League.
one of those, but a beautiful run gave them their title in so long. The Bundesliga title.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I mean beautiful run. Which put them on the radar of Real Madrid officially. They were eyeing them for a long time, but that run put them on the crosshairs already. And now we're getting this. It could potentially be a Xabi Alonso masterclass to potentially dethrone the European champions of PSG.
Yeah, I think if you're a Real Madrid fan, this is going to be your litmus test for the season: is how excited should I be for next season with Xavi Alonso at the helm. I think if you see a really, really great showing from Real Madrid right here, you can look forward to your Clásico matches, and you can look forward to a potential Copa del Rey final against the likes of like a Barcelona, and you can feel pretty good and wash away the disappointment of this past season. They've looked good so far. Xavi Alonso certainly no slouch. It's one thing to win the Bundesliga with Leverkusen. It's another thing to come back the next season and it take till the final couple of match days for the league to be decided again. Leverkusen top 3 again this year, so it's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see this matchup simply because if Real Madrid are good in this match, they're probably going to be really good come October.
Oh yeah,
November. So
let's see. What do we have for score predictions? Let's start off with not the easiest one, but it's still the.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can predict it a bit.
I'm gonna
more.
go 2-1 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea. Okay.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Chelsea, and then I think 2-1 PSG.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I correctly predicted my last 3 matches. So
So you're on a streak right now.
I'm on a streak. I predicted 2-1 USA over Guatemala. I predicted 2-1 Mexico over USA. I didn't make a prediction for the Bayern match, but I did predict Fluminense over Al Hilal as well. So Some of those are not on camera, so you'll just have to take my word for that.
For me, I have a 2-1 win Chelsea, but extra time.
Okay, 2-1, but a win in extra time.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then for PSG Real Madrid, I feel like it's gonna be very tactical, where we potentially go to penalties.
I just thought of a 2-2 actually. I just changed my
For
mind.
PSG Madrid.
Yeah, I just imagine a scenario in which PSG are up and Madrid level late.
I feel like it's gonna be
It seems likely.
PSG Real Madrid high scoring match. 3-3, go to penalties. Madrid takes it.
Ooh.
So we will have a potential.
A Donnarumma stinker in penalties?
Potentially, yes. So Chelsea Madrid is my prediction for the finals of the Club World Cup.
Okay.
What about you? Same thing?
Yeah, and we ought to make a finals prediction as well, because the final will be here on the 13th, which is Sunday. So we ought to make a finals prediction too.
Yep.
Let's do. So if you've got Chelsea and Madrid advancing,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Chelsea and PSG advance. I'm gonna stick with my prediction,
Oh, okay.
and I'm gonna choose Chelsea.
Chelsea as a club, your Club World Cup winner.
I think the Chelsea faithful will finally be rewarded with a trophy. I want to say they got a trophy earlier this year.
Yeah, it was
in the Conference League.
Correct.
I don't know. This might have a little more weight to it than the Conference League, I think, given who you've had to play and who you'll end up having to beat. I'm going to go Chelsea over PSG in a stunner. I think they're going to play really well. I hope they play really well.
You know what? Screw it. My mind's telling me one thing. Fluminense beats Chelsea in extra time. 3-2. Real Madrid goes through. Fluminense Real Madrid final.
Okay.
Give me that. Give me that in a scorecard.
I'll give you Fluminense versus Real Madrid on the scorecard. Who wins? Quick.
Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. Okay. Is it close?
Close. It's
Okay, it's
close.
close.
Fluminense puts up a lot of passion, but I think Xabi Alonso does a masterclass against the Brazilians, and they just take it on and add another trophy to their record books.
All right.
So-
I think given that we've just made a prediction on the final for the Club World Cup, that kind of signs, seals, and delivers our coverage of the Club World Cup until we talk about the winner of the whole tournament itself. So
Yeah, potentially we'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll have another watch along. Real quick, we want to thank y'all for tuning into our watch along. Our first watch along was fantastic.
yeah, we kind of threw it together. For those who didn't participate or didn't know, we threw together a little watch along yesterday for the Gold Cup. Had something like 1,600 people show up, and maybe not all at once, but throughout our coverage. So we want to, if you were one of those people, thank you so much. Seriously, thank you so much. We want to grow football in Houston. We want to grow.
Just bring everyone together.
Yeah, we just want to bring people in, make you a part of it, be a part of it with us. So thank you everybody for that.
Yeah.
I think we can finally get into the big game itself, the final. So that was last night was the 8th time the United States had played Mexico in a Gold Cup final.
I'm happy with the result.
I mean, obviously Mexico
I'm
wins.
repping my last year's Mexico jersey that I got outside the stadium.
It's such a good shirt as well.
Yes,
It's such a good shirt.
But I hate the crest. You can ask any Mexican fan; they hate the crest too. The OG one, as is always gonna be the better one. But a 2-1 victory, where my buddy right next to me says that he had his thoughts. He had his thoughts with it. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Before anybody gets misconstrued, I didn't for a moment think that the USA was going to win this game. I don't even think, reflecting on the performance of the actual players, that they deserve to win this game. Are there individual moments in which they deserved better from the referees?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Did they deserve to win given the quality of player they put on the field and the quality of performance that collectively as a whole they did? No, they didn't deserve to win. let me get that across before anybody says, "Oh, this guy's making excuses." Blah 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 blah. They didn't play well enough to win.
I think as a enjoyer of the game, like you for the watch along, you can no like everyone saw that nobody from the U.S. side was pressuring. I mean, we even have the foot mob thing right here where it showed. Let me scroll down a little bit. Like the momentum,
Yeah.
it's all green until like one spike before halftime.
There is an
then all
opportunity
green.
for USA to score right before half, which I thought, if that header is up instead of forward, it probably goes in the net.
Yeah,
But there's just too much of a big sample size for me to sit here and be like, if one or two things went different for the USA, they could have won the game. If one or two things go different for Mexico, they're up 4-1.
yeah.
Like, this game was not close. I don't want Team USA fans to get this strange notion from media or from anybody else that it was, in fact, a close matchup. It wasn't. It wasn't close. The quality was far, far in favor of Mexico. Malik Tillman tried to do so much last night by himself because there was just literally no one else in the midfield who was physically imposing or technically gifted enough to help him out. Berhalter, for all I praised his service into the box last night, right after that, he did everything in his power to be a non-factor. I mean, physically, he's not imposing. He's not able to prevent any sort of runs in the box given his size and physicality. I mean, he's just a small guy out there, and you can't have him and Luna on the pitch at the same time and expect you to win in the midfield. Tyler Adams was not good. Tyler Adams, probably the best player on the entire field against England for Team USA, and he had a bad night. Chris Richards had an amazing night. Chris Richards probably just solidified himself into the memory of Team USA fans as certainly center back one going forward, but probably in this performance, like one of the best center back performances we've seen in a while, which is sad considering they lost. We can't see Tim Ream in this shirt in the World Cup. There's just so much. There's just so much left to be answered. I didn't think Freeze had a horrible game. There's just a lot you can point to from the Team USA perspective. There's a lot you can point to. It's not just the handball that they did deserve. It's not the free kick that Mexico did not deserve that they serviced and scored a goal on. It's not that the initial call was offside and correctly called onside. There's not one or two things that you can point to. It's a myriad of things. It's no pressure like you talked about on the broadcast last night. I don't think they didn't have pressure on the ball while Mexico's center backs were just playing patty cake with it for the entirety of the first half. In the second half, we saw them run and pressure the ball.
Like toward like the beginning of the second half, like we were applauding the pressure that the U.S. was putting up. When then towards like the 60th minute, like it went back to the first half style of play.
Yeah, it seemed like there was another point last night where I thought to myself, I said, man, these guys are not coached well. And I don't know if that's because they're just not well coached at their club level and they're repeating their bad habits in the international level. I don't know if that's because Pochettino is asking them to do things that they're uncomfortable with and maybe they're mixing up their instructions. I don't know what it is that actually occurred. All I know is, to me, the perception is they're not coached well. And that comes from a couple of things.
So let me let's put into this thing, because for the Mexican Federation, our biggest issue was that we weren't sending enough players to Europe. And from the last time that USA took all the gold, it was for Nations League, right? Correct. Nations League and then Gold Cup.
Yeah,
they won. Mexico had 7 players in Europe. This year around, we got both Nations League and Gold Cup. We have 17 players out in Europe. Now, it's not top flight, but it's Europe and they're getting playing time.
I mean,
So now my and Mexico had a change of heart when it came to the coaches, because I'm gonna call it Lamborghini because that's the way how I know him by. Lamborghini wasn't the fit. They tried it out, didn't work out. Even though reason why we got him as a coach was because we got the Olympics, we got third place, and that's the reason why they wanted him. I wanted him too, but I feel like he was a well coach for the youngins and not for the first team, and so that's why they didn't work out.
yeah.
They did offer him the assistant coaching position, but he didn't want it, so that's why they brought in Rafa Marquez to be second man, and whenever Aguirre's time is up, Rafa Marquez takes that spot. So now, for your perspective, what is your key issue where you think it's messing up for the Team USA?
So this go round, like, it's a double-edged sword sending all your players to Europe. Gio Reyna honored his club football requirements, his obligations to Dortmund, and he didn't play. And Dortmund don't win the tournament. So ultimately, for what reason does he go? He doesn't play. He sits on the bench all the games. I mean, he played for like 12 minutes in one of the games as a substitute. And that's Gio Reyna. That's a player Team USA could have used a lot. You could have moved Tillman to one of these flanking midfield positions, and you could have Reyna run the 10 instead of Tillman. Or if you want to play Tillman in the 8 spot, you can have him play the 10. That's just one player. Yunus Musa and Christian Pulisic told the team, we don't want to be here. But everyone else that isn't here is either injured or honoring their club commitments. Weston McKennie for Juventus. Timothy Weah for Juventus. I mean, Serginho Dest came back and he was in camp, but they sent him home to deal with an injury. Anthony Robinson, same thing. I think I mentioned on the broadcast, maybe late in the broadcast, after like during the trophy ceremony or something. I think if I say the 8 players in my head right now, who I thought should have been here for this camp, and I know some of them are physically limited, like the ones I just mentioned, but if Weah is in camp, if McKennie is in camp, if Ricardo Pepi is in camp, if Tanner Tessman is in camp, if Cardoso doesn't have an ankle injury, if who else? If Valorant Balogun is in camp. I mean, these are not just throwaway names that maybe improve the roster. These are bona fide studs. And say what you want about their club versus, their international appearances. Serginho Dest immediately makes this team better on the right side. If Serginho Dest is playing instead of Freeman, this game is dramatically more different as far as what the USA is capable of on the attack and the defense. Mexico during their match were running a lot of balls in behind of the fullbacks for Team USA and easily able to flick that into the box for a cross. That's not how they ended up scoring, but that was a majority of the attack for Mexico all night long, was find the winger, put the ball forward into space, and running, because you're gonna beat the fullback. I mean, that was the recipe all night. You're gonna beat the fullback, just dribble past him and flick it into the box. That doesn't happen if it's Dest. That doesn't happen if it's Anthony Robinson. So if I had to pinpoint one thing for this team, it's health. It's you come World Cup, come the World Cup. If this team isn't healthy, you can forget about groups. You can forget about knockout stages. Like, it's going to be an ugly, ugly, ugly World Cup if we're sending this level of competition to try to represent our country. Tanner Tessman, he hasn't been invited to camp. Joe Scally put handcuffs on Vinicius Jr. for Brazil in the Copa America. I mean, he could do nothing. He completely locked down that side.
Right.
You're telling me that you didn't want him at camp, Pochettino? You say, we don't need this guy? Are you sure? We don't need Joe Scally? Like, there's a myriad of of players who are healthy and able to contribute to this team right now that aren't being called up. Some of my colleagues might want Banks to play alongside Chris Richards. And I don't know. In the case of Mora for Team USA, you want to inject the team with energy. You want to inject them with youth. You want to create a dynamic in which you are doing something to excite fans and to excite players alike.
Yeah.
And I'm uninspired by Team USA.
What's that one meme? There is no passion. There is no vision. There's no fucking mindset in this football club.
Oh my God, yeah. No,
That's basically what it is.
And as much as we like to tout young talent in for Team USA, Luna will be good coming off the bench.
Yes, that man
for the
is scary.
He will be
scary.
good coming off the bench. He had a really, really, really disappointing performance against Mexico, partially because of, I think, of his instructions, but also he just was physically outmatched. I can say this with certainty. Had all of these other players been there, just off of physicality alone, USA would have stood more of a chance. Balogun can hold his own in the front by himself. Ajamong just looked like a large man walking around on a field with some other guys playing a ball game around him. Tillman is strong. He's big and strong. Luna's not big and strong. Berhalter's not big and strong. Tyler Adams is big and strong, but he didn't play well. Luca De La Torre had a great game. Shout out to him. Shout out to not disappointing me last night, to holding your own and everything else. Big fan for now until you disappoint me again. I'm not fair weather, I promise. I'm in it to win it. I just really like seeing players play well. Team Mexico played great. Shout out to Team Mexico. Edson Alvarez, player of the tournament. You want to get into that a little more? 16-year-old, really impressing in the midfield.
Yes. Yes, man. 16 years old, getting the tap in after Luis Chavez gets injured, torn ACL.
Mm-hmm.
I keep on saying it. Big prayers to him. Comes on, takes the biggest position of his life right now.
And your man that you pointed out in our episode where we talked about what's got to change for Mexico, Johan Vasquez gets the start and he gets an assist for Mexico.
Yes, the two big changes that was needed was in the midfield. We finally got it. It was talent that was just sitting on the bench in the academy. Well, Gilberto Mora was in the academy, the under 16s, but now gets a tap. Was an amazing asset for us. And look, more than likely got the approval of the higher ups and will potentially be in your World Cup squad.
I mean, he should be.
Yes,
I think
if they don't call him up, there's something wrong. Even though there is corruption,
that'll be disappointing.
In the federation, there's something worse.
I think everybody in CONCACAF, not just. I think everybody now that there are people, because there are some Europeans paying attention to this tournament.
Yes, there's moving going to be happening. Moves are going to happen
due to Club World Cup and the Gold Cup happening simultaneously. There are a lot more eyes on American soccer than previously.
Yeah,
and I think Gilberto Mora getting this national spotlight for Mexico, but the international spotlight from Team USA fans, from Canada fans, and ultimately fans in Europe. I think people are.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned earlier. We're discussing the social media reaction to Gilberto Mora.
There was
European soccer fans going, "He's only 16."
Like, bruv, he's only 16, isn't it? Isn't it 16, bruv?
Oh my God!
Man. Like,
wait, so
he put a masterclass the whole entire tournament. He wasn't expecting to get on, but he did. And bro, props to Marcel Ruiz también. Then look at that Spanish coming up.
It's okay.
But,
I know what that means.
Yes, but like that whole change in the midfield played such a big role because you got Captain Edson that has been putting in the work nonstop. Mm-hmm. He's training this midfield, and The defense was already like the defense that Mexico already had, right? Playing this tournament was spot on, except for one exception was for the first match against the Dominican Republic, where they almost blew the lead, but we had a solid backfield. The only problem was the mid. It looks like we got it. A little bit more tweaking, and we have a pretty solid squad moving forward with that. Santi Jimenez needs to put in some work also, put some more work in for nation over club, and recall up more people, send a bit more to Europe to get more experience, and I think we're ready for World Cup. My ideal finish of the World Cup, I know we're not gonna go to the final. A man can dream for their country to go to the final, but it's not gonna happen.
I think you guys can think about quarters.
Yes,
I think you guys can think about quarterfinals.
Thinking about quarters. That is my World Cup. That's
Mexico
my
in a
final.
quarterfinal sounds about right to me.
We need to have a good luck of the draw.
If there's going to be any of the host nations
Yes.
that are going to get to a quarterfinal, I would guess Mexico. I would say Mexico.
Praying.
Here's hoping that Team Canada can get healthy before then. If Team Canada can get healthy beforehand, maybe they have a good run in the tournament again. I think a disappointing end to the tournament for Canada. Yeah, we're doing a little World Cup look ahead here. Since you were talking about your ideal tournament, I don't know. Ideal tournament for Team USA is what did I talk about at the beginning of this tournament? What I wanted to see from USA, I wanted to see them dominate smaller teams. I wanted to see them find an identity, and I wanted to see who is going to be useful for the World Cup. Well, in the World Cup, if you don't have an identity by game one, you should just not play it.
Right.
And this team still has no identity.
Yeah.
Because they decided...
you got people arguing that it was the B team that went up, it was the C team that went up. So if your fan base doesn't know who's up and who's playing, that's already a major red flag.
Well, it's not even, this is the level of the B team and our A team is better. It's like, this is the level of our team that is not...
In general.
This is the level of our team when our superstars are not healthy.
Yeah.
If Pulisic gets hurt early in the club season and he's not going to be back for the World Cup, you have to have an answer on that left side. And right now they don't. They have Luna, but Luna, if Luna plays the way that he did against Mexico, you can pretty much leave him at home.
Right.
And maybe you go to two, midfielders and instead, or go to two attacking midfield, or maybe you go to two up front between Balogun and Pepe. That might be something interesting, is to have two strikers up front for Team USA. I don't know what the answers are right now. I don't know if Pochettino knows what the answers are. Hopefully before the next international window, they can figure it out. I don't want to spend too much time on Team USA because they lost. They deserve to lose. Mexico won. They deserve to win. They played great. We should be talking about Mexico more than USA. I just have so much disappointment from what I saw. And there's really not much to say when you win things, is there?
One of my favorite quotes is we seek perfection, but we applaud improvement.
There you go. That's a great quote.
So we gotta keep going. Yes, we got where we needed to be when it comes to silverware, but we know we can improve more. I feel like there's more hidden talent within our system that can come out, and potentially we get past the quinto partido. Maybe we get past that. Maybe go to the sixth one, seventh one. Hey, maybe let me drink big. Maybe we win the fucking final. Bro, come on, man. We have the talent. For sure we have the fan base to back us up. There's people dreaming left and right. We got uncles that got injured when they were younger and they can't play as their main excuse. Hey, man, we put some witchcraft or whatever on them so they can play again. Hey, yeah, man. But once again, we want to thank you all for tuning in to this episode of Between the Posts.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up. Thank everybody for watching once again. We will be putting out on our social media if we're going to do another watch along for the Club World Cup. I think we're planning on it. Let us know who you think is going to win. Is it going to be Chelsea, Real Madrid, PSG, Fluminense? Who do you have in the final? Drop some scoreline, some predictions in the comments. Also, follow us on Twitter We're at underscore between the post BTP official. So that's at underscore BTP official. And then on Instagram, at between the post official. You can follow us there. We're going to be dropping episode like breakdowns. We're going to be dropping some fun, like some of our rants. We're going to chop them up, put them on there for you.
Yeah.
And also just news and different things that we got going on in the soccer world and with us. So thanks for following along. Tune in next time. For us, we're out.
Peace.